Okay. Am I back? Are you back? Are we here? Is everything good? Is this working? Okay. It looks like it's working. Okay. So I figured out what was wrong. I was messing... Okay, so as you can see, the wall behind me is blue. Which is... It's not a very bright or dark blue. But I was goofing around with a chroma key filter the other day to see if I could maybe fade that background out. You know, blue screen, it's a blue wall. Why not, right? Apparently I forgot to delete that chroma key, so it was taking all of the white out of the scene, which is why everything was dark as heck. Oh. So hopefully I'm live again. Hopefully I'm not talking... Yeah, okay. Thank you, mobile live dashboard. I'm alive. Oh, look. Now we can see everything. Wonderful. Looks good to me. Alright. And hopefully everything else is fine. And that's our only issue for tonight. I hope. Oh my god, it's been forever. It's been like 2 weeks. Where did we leave off? Investigate the murder at the Abbey Grange. Search for possible sailor suspects. Possible sailor suspects. Okay. Search the archives. The Rock of Gibraltar. Name the ship in the data later record will remain voyage from Austria. Oh! Did I already check? Wow. A little loosey-goosey on the mouse there, aren't we? Okay. Aha! Search. 1893. Rock of Gibraltar arrival. The Strand. Arrival of the Rock of Gibraltar. A ship returned. The Rock of Gibraltar, a bulk carrier from the Adelaide, Southampton, London line, Cunard Building, James Street, London, has returned from a 6-month voyage through India, New Zealand, and Australia. The ship brought to England Miss Mary Fraser, the heiress of the Fraser family, owning land and tin mines in Australia. This reportedly beautiful young lady is presently engaged to Sir Eustace Breckenstall, one of the wealthiest gentlemen in Kent.
Here it is.
Here it is. We found it, Watson. Yes.
The shipping company, the Adelaide, Southampton, London line, and its address. Interesting. It must be the place where they keep the records, including the one for the crew of the Rock of Gibraltar.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard, they'll give it to you without any problems.
But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
Oh, the specialist. Who's the specialist? Task for Wiggins. Ah, yes. Wiggins.
Wiggins, would you come upstairs, please?
Don't get ran over by a coach.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
I need a register, my young friend. If you could borrow it, there will be half a guinea for every one of you. I need the crew list of the Rock of Gibraltar in 1893 and their current employment.
I'm straight on it, Mr. Holmes.
Do you really think they'll find it, Holmes?
My secret police
Sure.
is better than the Yard in many ways.
3 hours later. Oh, sorry. 3 hours
Here it is,
later.
Mr. Holmes. But we can't take it back. It's too risky.
Put it on the table. I'll take care of it. Good work, young Wiggins.
Ah,
I left it right on the table for you, sir.
good job.
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage.
Aha.
Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean that someone on this list is our mysterious visitor.
Okay.
And these are the lists of the senior officers of the Adelaide, Southampton, London Line ships. Let us find out who was in London upon November the 7th.
November the 7th. 12th, 23rd, 16th.
I do not think that this sailor has any...
No. Let's see here. Departure from Adelaide, Australia, March 16th. Arrival in London on May 23rd. How do I switch pages? Ah, here we go. Let's see.
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean that someone on this list is our mysterious visitor.
Arrived. Departed from London October 17th. Departed November 10th. Oh. Okay. Departed October 23rd. May 6th. October 17th. So they departed from London on October 17th. I think this is the one. Let's see. The captain.
This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime. This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago.
Let's see
he
here.
wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
Herbert Hawkins?
I do not think that this...
No. Oh, Herbert Whittington.
This
William.
officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He
Okay.
wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
Scratch it out. Let's see. Any of these other boys? No. Alright, let's look at this list. Jack Crocker.
Mr. Jack Crocker was in London upon the date of the crime, and he is due to depart in 2 days.
Aha. Let's look at the other names here real quick. Henry. Thomas. No. Let's see here. Alfred Harold Van Thomas
This
Walker.
officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
Shunk. And it's Whittington.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
No. See if we can get Ernest and Henry off the list as well. I would like to have this be... Aha.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
And so is Mr. Southward.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
It has to be Crocker. Yes. All right.
This Crocker, do you think...
Oh, indeed,
It
Watson.
would be interesting to meet him. Our young friend should be able to find him.
Hey, Crab, how's it going? Oh, first stream in a while, so I'm a little rusty. Just getting used to everything again. Had some start of stream issues and had to restart stream, but, you know, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Wiggins, find Miss Man for me.
Wiggins, could you find a way to bring this Captain Crocker here to us?
Here? Holmes, that could be dangerous.
No problem, Mr. Holmes.
Sometime later. Crab. Oof, playing some Destiny. So you're going to be lurking? No worries,
Rose?
Crab. Thanks for
I was
lurking.
informed that you were looking for me, and I'd like to know why.
Yes, it is important that we talk. You will soon understand why.
Ooh. Let's see what we can distinguish about this man. Clear look, honest. Let's see. Oh. A strong build. Clean boots. Ah, very nice. A sea knife. So he knows his stuff. He's no dandy. Alright, what did I miss? We'll just be super thorough. Swish it all across. Usually it's the hand. Usually there's a clue on one of the hands. Aha! Newspaper ink. Ah, he's well read. Well, depending on what he reads.
You are acquainted with Lady Mary Brackenstall, are you not?
Yes, I think I do remember her. From when I was first officer, but I still don't see...
It seems your relationship went beyond that of mere passenger and first officer.
How dare you?
Ooh.
Indeed, how reckless a feeling is love, particularly if one is prepared to commit a murder in its name.
Explain yourself this instant.
You are aware that the murder made the headlines of the morning press. You read the newspaper report, but to your dismay, found it much fabricated. Once you learned that I wanted to see you, you came straight away. You needed to know what I had found.
You? And what do you know?
That evening, you were with Lady Brackenstall, despite the danger.
Oh.
I'm not afraid, Mr. Holmes. Besides, all of this is just guesswork.
You would be right if there was no evidence.
What?
Aha.
Lady Brackenstall was tied to a chair on the night of the murder. And it was you who tied her up.
You call that evidence?
Yes, sailor's knots.
Yes, as she was tied with a sailor's knot. Your handiwork.
So, it's a sailor who's done it. That proves nothing, Mr. Holmes. I'm not the only sailor in London right now. Your theory is flawed anyway. On the night of the murder, I was aboard the Sharp. I was supervising the repair of a porthole.
At night?
It was an emergency. There was a leak. You can ask the ship's carpenter. He can confirm.
I'm sure that he can.
Perfect. In that case, we have nothing more to talk about. Good evening, gentlemen.
Holmes, what should we do now? Would you like to check his alibi?
No. There is no doubt that these men will testify in his favor, and there will be no way to check.
So, what then?
So, we must work with what we have. We have all the puzzle pieces.
Indeed.
Now I understand why you dissected the bell rope.
Yes. Crocker's statement, Captain Crocker. Crocker was aboard a Sharp now. Crocker's line is almost clear. He appeared as soon as he heard that I was looking for him, dissignaling his guilt. Tim Crocker was aboard the Sharp on the night of the murder. He was not afraid to confront me. He had a confident demeanor. Oh, but no, that doesn't match up with the rest of this. The captain is the killer. Sir Eustace was murdered by one person who was visiting that night. The murderer is tall and agile and a high-ranking sailor. Arrest Captain Crocker. Jack Crocker is a murderer, and you will bring him and his accomplice, Lady Brackenstall, to justice. Absolve Captain Crocker. The murder was committed in self-defense. Jack Crocker defended a woman against a violent and why can't we just say a horrible man? The mystery is solved, but you decided to keep it secret. There's no need to inform the police. Continue the investigation for a moment. Okay. Yes. The captain is the killer. Alright. What if we change everything? What if we change it all? What if there was 3 people? No, this doesn't work. No. Whoops. There were 2 people. Put it all back. Look for the saying that Captain is the killer. Okay, we've solved it. I'm absolving him. Because, yes, that poor woman's husband was
Wiggins,
a monster.
Could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
Barely an hour has passed.
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know because of the height at which the rope was cut. The knife used was a sea knife. The knots were sailor's knots, and not least the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow. And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London. And because you love her.
Dun dun dun.
It's true.
It is time for you to tell us the whole truth.
I admit that I loved Mary madly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her, for I believed that she was in a happy household. When I talked to her maid, who told me everything, I was insane with rage.
Yeah.
I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her. He was not even worthy of licking her boots.
Oh.
Oh, I regret nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is able.
Lady Brackenstall already forgave you. She said nothing.
Mary.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
Mr. Holmes.
You would not have managed to protect her.
Till I die, do you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear. And it is the one that should be disclosed to the police. I am the only culprit. Mary had nothing to do with it. Now it is time to end this.
Dun 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 dun. Oh! No, 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 sir. Oh shit. Oh shit. Ah!
Please forgive me, Captain Crocker. I wished only to test your sincerity, and your words and deeds have far exceeded my expectations. See here, Captain Crocker, we'll do this in due form of law. You are the prisoner. Watson, you are a British jury. Captain Crocker, the evidence shows that you acted without premeditation and used reasonable force to protect an innocent victim from her husband's brutality. Your devotion pushed you to attempt to kill yourself in order to protect the one you love. Now, what say you, gentlemen of the jury?
Not guilty, my lord.
Vox populi, vox dei.
Aha.
You are acquitted, Captain Crocker. So long as the law does not find some other victim, you are safe from me.
Mr. Holmes.
It is a great responsibility that I take upon myself, but I will give Lestrade an excellent lead, and if he can't avail himself of it, I can do no more. Come back to your lady in a year, and may her future and yours justify us in the judgment which we have pronounced this night.
In other words, don't be a dickbag. Oh.
Inspector, I'm afraid that the murderers have escaped us.
What? Do you mean to tell me that you failed? Never thought I'd live to see the day.
I mentioned the murderers, not the case. It is obvious that the crime was committed by 3 criminals who cannot be the Randalls.
You really think so?
You only need to find a gang of 3 thugs wandering around. I can trust you to do that.
If they exist, I'll catch them.
You'll find someone, I have no doubt of it. Goodbye, Inspector.
Sir Eustace was murdered by Captain Jack Crocker, who was visiting Lady Brackenstall that night. They staged it as a robbery by the Randall gang. Crocker used his sea knife to cut the bell rope and tie the lady, then hid the silverware in the well. Jack Crocker defended a woman against a violent and despomaniacal man. You have decided to keep it a secret. Clues found 16. Conclusion: the captain is the killer. Moral choice: you absolved Captain Crocker. All right. Warning: yes. People solved the case in the way 94. People made the same decision. Moral choice 64. Hey, we're in the majority. Unlike last case where I was like in the minority on how to solve things. Ah well. Flies?
Holmes, for heaven's sake, whatever's going on?
Oh, hello, Watson. You're early. Did you kill all of your patients?
What? Holmes, where have all these wretched bees
Oh,
come from?
bees, right.
I increased the temperature of the room so as to prevent them from hibernating. I needed to take a sample of honey. But it worked, Watson. We will have honey all year round.
Ridiculous and dangerous.
They are domestic bees, Apis mellifera, such industrious workers. Anyway, Watson, I am sorry, but I must leave you. I'm in rather a hurry.
You have a new case?
Yes, but nothing as thrilling as this experiment. A theft of plants at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew.
Oh,
I'm helping a
fun.
minister who's an old friend of mine. You can join me if you like.
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these workers of yours. Besides, you'll need a helping hand with the flowers you're intending to bring back.
Watson, however did you guess?
For the great Sherlock Holmes to bother with the theft of plants. Come on, admit that you're planning to spoil your little bees with some rare pollens.
haha.
Since when did I become so transparent? Let us go.
Ah, good job, Watson. It was elementary, my dear Watson. Elementary. Who? What? Okay, these better be some fancy plants for someone to have stolen plants. Like rare, worth millions of pounds. Because otherwise, that's just sad. I love the fact that the carriage is just like that. What's happening outside the window is just like a big thing spinning around the carriage in a circle to make it look like we're going somewhere, kind of like they would have done like an old movie or TV show. Oh. Ooh.
Well, Holmes, here we are at the Royal Botanic Gardens. There's no doubt that this place is beautiful.
Indeed.
But are you really intent on investigating the theft of the plants?
Of course.
Yes, of course.
Of course, Watson. And not TR. Yes, there we are. I prefer playing in first person.
Don't touch anything else, is that clear? Just go and get a bucket of fertilizer. And without turning it over this time. Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you? If you are here for a visit, please do come back on Sunday.
I am afraid that it cannot wait. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson. We are investigating the theft of plants that took place here 5 days ago. A remarkable collection, I believe.
So you're the one in charge, eh?
A small favor for a friend. Now, to whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
I am
Indeed.
Martin Hamish. I am the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens. And that fellow yonder is Albert. He works here.
I am delighted to meet you. What can you tell us about the plants?
They were rare and exceptional plants. We presented them at our last exhibition. We haven't removed the stand yet. It is still in the large glass house. We only learned of their disappearance the evening after the exhibition, and nobody saw anything.
No doors were forced?
No, but I would imagine that for a thief it would be fairly easy to gain entry, for there are no guards here.
Well, if you don't mind, we will take a look. Now, you say that it is in the large glass house.
Yes, the one just behind me. Just a second, since Albert has nothing else to do. Albert, show these gentlemen where the exhibition was held.
How many people work here?
Only myself, but occasionally 2 students, Albert, whom you have met, and Miss White.
Miss White. All right. We will need to talk with Miss White. Isn't that right?
Here it is. This is the place where the stolen plants were exhibited.
Thank you. Is there something the matter?
Yes, there is. All right, the plants were valuable and rare, but it seems to me that the tragedy that took place here only 2 days ago has been entirely forgotten already.
What tragedy are you referring to?
The director of Kew Gardens, Mr. Montague Dunn, he died here just 2 days ago.
We're very sorry. We were not aware. The two of you were good friends?
He was my father.
Oh
Oh,
dear. Our condolences. We should not be troubling you. Please do excuse us for the intrusion.
You say that he died here, in the large glass house.
Holmes?
Yes, just here, near the door to the colonial collection. He suffered a heart attack. Just like that. So suddenly. It was terrible. Excuse me, gentlemen, but I cannot remain here. If you need me, I'll be in the reserve. That's the room next to the front of the large greenhouse.
Of course, we understand.
What do you think you're doing, little kitty? Oh, no. No, 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 no. You do not climb onto my desk. This is not allowed. Alright, Watson. Let us look.
Do not touch.
Someone ignored that.
The plants were here. All of them were stolen.
What was here?
Here is a list of the stolen plants.
10 of them. Okay. Watson. Let me see if I can't visualize something. No. There's nothing off the top of my head. Just small.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
No, no, kitty. She's bound and determined to get up here, isn't she?
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Okay.
Water lily greenhouse. According to Albert, this is where his father, Montague Dunn, was found dead.
Oh my. Thin black
The traces
tracks.
are thinner in some places. These boot marks are fresh. It appears as though someone was dragging their feet. The footprints reveal that someone staggered here.
Okay. What's this?
Soil. It should have come from a flower pot.
Interesting.
The soil on the side of this flower shelf is the same as that on the ground. Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here.
Interesting. Man, the door got beat up.
The door was smashed at shoulder height. This door handle is new. It was recently changed. The esconson was breached near the handle.
Aha.
The door was forced from the inside of the Colonial Collection Room. The handle was changed afterwards.
I think we need to inspect the Colonial Collection Room.
Indeed.
This pot was broken fairly recently. A flower pot recently fell down from these shelves and was misplaced.
Oh. Australia? The Cape Colony? Singapore? New Zealand? Calcutta? Sudan?
These plants come from all the territories of the British Empire.
British India? Malacca? Interesting. The British Honduras? Let's see here.
Very strange. The
Detergent?
smell is strong. It is a detergent.
Stone chip.
This broken fragment was the result of a heavy blow.
Ah.
A fragment of marble, most likely chipped from a statue or sculpture.
Heart attack my left foot. He was murdered.
This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system. These windows were perfectly cleaned. Part of this greenhouse was emptied and thoroughly cleaned.
Whoops. I dare say, Watson.
This sign is broken. Something heavy was dropped upon it. Blood. Someone fell violently against this sign, and they were injured in the clash. Most likely a head wound. All the clues around here are quite suspicious. I need my imagination to make sense of it all. No, it wasn't like that.
Let's see here. One, two, three. Break in, stumble, knock down the plant, and fall.
This reconstruction reveals a disturbing fact. Montague Dunn damaged the door of the Colonial Collection Room.
He was in a panic, or the door was locked. Was it an accident, or a murder then, I wonder?
I believe it was a murder. Department autopsy Montague Dunn. The death is suspicious. Why had he forced the door of the Colonial Collection Room? Why has someone cleaned the emptied the room? Was it a trap or a simple accident? Alright, Watson. Scotland Yard to perform the autopsy. Yeah. We kept a fork.
I asked Inspector Lestrade to take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy then.
All right. What were his personal effects?
This watch is of great value. A beautiful feather pen of a good make.
It's a feather pen?
A membership card for the London Crest Club.
And a letter. To Mr. F. Wayne, Director of Wayne & Sons Printing Company. My friend, your posters for the Great Exhibition at Kew Gardens are very beautiful, but it is surely necessary to mention all of the staff. My name alone will be sufficient. Montague Dunn. Someone was upset about not getting their recognition. Let us examine this body.
First of all, let us carry out an external examination. No redness, stings, or bruises. There are no suspicious marks upon the chest. Let us finish our external examination so that we can proceed with the autopsy. There is an injury to the skull, most probably caused by the fall in the water lily greenhouse.
Uh-huh.
The vessels and the pupil of the eye appear quite normal. The air from the lungs carries a faint floral aroma. Nothing suspicious here. Now, let us examine the internal organs.
No, Watson, you do this part. I'm gonna go.
The heart's blood vessels show no pathological signs. The heart tissue shows no visible pathological signs.
It was not a heart attack, as I suspected. Liver?
The liver is enlarged. It would seem that he was suffering from an alcohol addiction.
Most people do.
The liver tissue is brown. There are no visible pathological signs. The lungs are congested and edematous.
Okay.
The
Aha!
tissue on the inferior lobe of the right lung is damaged, most probably caused by toxins from an unknown plant.
Ah.
The stomach tissues show no visible pathological signs. There is a small amount of content. It appears that he breakfasted lightly, only a short while before his death.
Oh, good, we're done looking at the guts.
My suspicions have been substantiated. Montague Dunn, the director of Kew Gardens, died from poisoning. Plant poisoning, to be more exact.
You mean
Yes, it is murder.
we should inform Lestrade?
Dun, dun,
Yes,
dun.
but do remember, Watson, that I discovered the murder. The challenge is mine.
The challenge, Holmes?
We need to locate that deadly plant. Such a perfect murder appeals to me.
Murder of any kind appeals to you. Is that all we need to do?
No, we also have the people working at Kew Gardens. Martin Hamish and the son of the victim, Albert Dunn.
And also Miss White, of whom we spoke with Mr. Hamish. Should we bring them all here for interrogation?
No. A few innocuous questions at Kew will suffice, as well as a discreet delve into their personal affairs. Yes, Watson, it is time now to open the doors.
Even those in the staff building? I suppose that is necessary.
We should also be concerned with the victim himself. After all, we don't know very much about Montague Dunn.
Indeed.
You're enjoying this already, aren't you?
More than a little.
Of course, Watson. It's a great mystery. One that we must solve. Dunn was poisoned. Alright, Watson. Find the stolen plants. Find the plant that was used to kill Montague Dunn. Inspect the Kew Garden staff building. Gather information. Find out who killed Montague. Alright. Back to the gardens, Watson. Excuse me. All right. Mr. Hamish. Myopic, inexpensive glasses. Dirty collar. He's a gardener. Works in a gardener's hands. Ah. Unmarried.
Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the colonial collection? It seems somewhat depleted.
But, most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
You're not sure, then? But you're the deputy director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
Right.
Tell me, Mr. Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
Albert told us about the tragic death of Mr. Dunn, the late director of Kew Gardens.
Tragic indeed. His heart attack was quite unexpected.
As deputy director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression. Great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week. He was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that, if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
Lifestyle?
You mentioned that Mr. Dunn led a particular lifestyle.
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say?
Ah.
He was a member of the London Smart Set. He was famous for it. That
And?
he had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
I see. Very interesting indeed. Now, where is young Andrew? It's a lovely garden.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Oh, Albert, not Andrew. My apologies, Albert. Miss White.
Who is Miss Margaret White?
Ah, she is the young lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
Do you work here?
Yes, but part-time only. For I'm also studying botany at the University of London.
You're following in your father's footsteps, then. That is commendable.
Well, even if botany is not my strongest suit, there are people who say that I could be a good manager.
Alright, I forgot to do this first. Let's take a look at you, sir. Red eyes. He's wept recently, consumed by grief. What's this? Shaving cut. Understandable, he's grieving. Clean hands.
We noticed that a part of the colonial collection has been cleared.
Ah, at the moment I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
Okay.
I imagine that your relationship with your father may have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man, for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path, and I have to manage Kew Gardens. And I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
Would you please tell us about Martin Hamish, the deputy director?
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the deputy director of Kew Gardens.
Oh.
My father would not have tolerated it.
Indeed? Well, that is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, Mr. Hamish only has the honor of being the garden's longest-serving employee. In fact, if we are to think logically at all, it should be me who takes over the management of Kew Gardens.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself. But my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon. Harm House.
All right. What's this? The Times. All right. What's that?
A task list for Albert, compiled by Martin Hamish. Sweep out the Palm House, scrub the toilets, clean the storage shed tools.
You are not allowed to read the newspaper during your lunch break. Why? Let's go meet Miss White. Ah, a map of the area. Let's look at this.
Dry Tropics. Water Lily Greenhouse.
Oops.
Colonial Collection. Director's Office, Cloakroom and Laboratory. Harm House. Nursery. Seed House. Ventilation System.
All right. Excellent. Excuse me, Watson.
Locked.
Of course it is.
Locked.
Of course it is. This must be the seed house over here. The nursery.
Nursery.
Alright, she's in the seed house, not the nursery. So it must be over here, down this path. Very nice. There she is.
Look, Holmes, this charming lady must be Miss White. She's entering the seed house.
Yeah. Let's go in, Watson.
Seed House. Open.
Open.
Good day to you, miss. You have some very beautiful plants here.
Why, thank you, sir. And good day to you, too. But...
Oh, I do beg your pardon. My name is Dr. John Watson. This is my good friend, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Aha.
I am honored to make your acquaintance, gentlemen. My name is Margaret White. Excuse me, but are you Sherlock Holmes, the great detective?
Well, yes.
Yes, I am he.
What a pleasure to see you here at Kew Gardens. Are you working on a case?
All right, young lady. Expensive perfume. Ah. Poor family. What have I missed? Excuse me, I'm not trying to be creepy or anything. This last clue must be here. Ah. Hold it. Unmarried.
Yes, a theft of plants that took place here a few days ago after their most recent exhibition.
Oh, yes, of course. I quite forgot about that.
You forgot.
Oh, it's quite understandable that you might forget about the theft of the plants, miss, after the tragedy that took place here.
Yes. The director was a truly good man. It is such a terrible misfortune.
Would you happen to know why part of the colonial collection was cleared?
No, I have never been there.
Really?
Do you work here?
Part-time only. I am a biology student at the London University. I attend the same classes as the son of Mr. Montague Dunn. That is how I found my chance to work here for part of my thesis, you see. It is a great honor.
Okay.
How well did you know Mr. Montague Dunn?
He was a master, a great leader. I saw him almost as a spiritual father.
He had an exceptional nature?
Oh yes, indeed. He was always so active and so optimistic, and very nice to me. Although he could behave harshly towards his son.
Why so?
He loved his son dearly and wanted the very best for him. It made him extremely demanding. Albert, who is naturally shy, suffered because of it.
Ah.
Most of the doors in Kew Gardens are locked. Do you have a key to this room?
Oh, yes. Albert gave me a set of duplicate keys. He agreed I might carry out my studies without disturbing him. It is only temporary.
Thank you, miss. None of the 3 people who work at Kew Gardens know why half of the colonial collection was cleared. So, someone is lying. It is obvious.
Yes, and I think I know who it is. Ah. Exciting. Well, let's go and search the archives and see what we can find out about these plants. Back to Becker Street. I am suspecting the assistant director. I think he was upset about some things, yes? Where plants botany? History, medicine, botany. Exotic plants, volume 4. These plants have a certain toxicity in common, more or less variable. Dionaea caravosa, Carolina imberia, Femoria diabolica, Prunus certina, Coromillenia odorata, Heliomorphis tupus, Bilis, Glenisis volcanius, Darlingtonian, Craconius, Cephala. I'm butchering these names so horribly. Only the first 3 can be dangerous to humans, particularly Florium diabolicus. But only under very specific conditions. The plant should react to a process of aggression against which it will issue deadly spores.
Here it is.
Oh, I have some letters. Dear Mr. Holmes, I finally found the courage to write you a letter. I can scarcely find the words to express my gratitude for your kindness. On that terrible day I believed my life to be ruined, but at the same time I realized there to be one person in the world who truly loved me and who I loved in return. His name we both know. He is Captain Jack Crocker. His love has given me true reason to live, even if we cannot be together in the end, and none of this could have happened without you, Mr. Holmes. Sincerely, Mary Blackenstall. Ah. Well, perhaps they will hit it off then. Hamish. Hamish I believe to be the one. Alright.
Oh dear, Toby. I wasn't aware that you were Watson's new literary agent.
Oh my, Toby.
Someone should take Toby for a walk. Have you found something interesting?
Indeed. Watson, what are you looking at? Shame on you, Watson.
A map of London and the surrounding area. It could be useful.
Indeed. Alright. So, we know that the spores from this plant can be quite deadly. If they are... Could it be the plant in the pot that fell? Sure. Very good.
Mr. Hamish, can you tell us who holds the keys to the locked greenhouses?
That would be Albert, Mr. Dunn's son. Yes, Albert keeps all the keys, and one can only imagine why.
What do you mean?
Well, he was never interested in Kew Gardens before. And now all of a sudden he's trying to act as if he owns the place. I think he wants to take over the management here. He'd do better to leave that to me. He has no experience. No, none at all.
What is your opinion of Albert as a student of botany?
He's useless. I often tell him so, and I can only give him cleaning tasks. Botany is not his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was?
Oh yes, he forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure. It was with the intention of making a fool of him, Mr. Holmes.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making fun of poor Albert. That is, except for Miss Margaret White, who is such a nice lady and who always takes pity on Albert.
Miss White.
You mentioned a Miss White. Would you tell us more about her?
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming indeed. She possesses a great talent for botany. You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And why, he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention. How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Interesting. Things are getting quite interesting. Albert?
Do you hold the keys to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employees' effects are private. I am sure you understand.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Okay. Now that we have keys, let's go and investigate. What's on the director's
Newspapers
desk?
discussing Kew Gardens.
New plant species. The Kew Gardens team are pleased to announce the successful production of a new variety of barley, one that retains a complete resistance to the cold. They have named it the Siberian barley. Mr. Martin Hamish, the proud cultivator of the graft, will hold a press conference next Monday morning upon this very subject. A letter. My dearest Margaret, following our last conversation, I believe it may be better if you vacate your position here at Kew Gardens. As you pointed out quite bluntly, you are no longer in need of my support. You are quite able to stand up for yourself in this world, as you say. Will I give you back your freedom, and wish of you nothing but good luck. Montague Dunn. Ah. Very interesting indeed.
Champagne. Montague Dunn had good taste. French wine. A remarkable vintage. A photograph of Montague Dunn and Reynold Hamish.
Huh. Okay. Damn. Not gonna push it. Damn it. 1, 2. 2. 2. Okay, it's 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. I get it. 2. 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Really? Two, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Aha! Quite interesting. A letter. My dear friend, please allow me to express my disappointment upon reading your last letter. I'm paying you to defend me, not accuse me. Kew Gardens is a royal institute. We are guaranteed the great opportunity to travel the world and save the most extraordinary, precious, and rare species of plant. Our duty is to protect such species from those who might wish to use them for dubious purposes. This divine syndicate of whom you speak have no right to hold such precious plants. Remember the case on June 14th, 1889. So I must respectfully ask you once again to notarize the permissions on these plants on behalf of Kew Gardens. The documents were sent to you on Monday. P.S. See you in Boodles on Tuesday as always. Montague Dunn. Ah. Another letter. Mr. Dunn, we must ask you for the last time to return our dear sisters. You do not have any right to hold them imprisoned. They do not belong to you. Our so-called permissions are wholly false. You are hiding behind lies. The lie we need to elaborate that was reported in the press as the case of June 14th, 1889. What you have done is quite abhorrent. Be very sure that we shall never abandon our family members. We trusted you and regret having done so. The Divine Syndicate. Aha.
I suggest that we don't tell Miss Margaret White about this document.
Debt of Miss Margaret White to Mr. Montague Dunn. Rental of a suite of rooms at Oxford Street. An educational scholarship at the London University. Credits opened at Hamilton, Radigan House, Taylor's, and at Bard & Sons Luxury Jewelers. Oh my.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Oh, Watson, what should we do? Alright. White's expulsion. White and Dunn. Miss White and Mr. Dunn had a recent disagreement. Montague Dunn was planning to release Miss White from her position at Kew Gardens. Killers may be those who stole the exact plants, including the species from the last exhibition at Kew Gardens. Perhaps. All right. Let's go back to Baker Street and look up this incident that happened on the 14th, 1889. July or June? I already forgot. Either way. We will search through the newspaper archive. 1889. Scandal at the Divine Syndicate. Scandal at Divine Syndicate Club. The Divine Syndicate Club, followers of the God King Terwin, situated on 48th Gosnevor Street, Charlton Road, protectors of plants and more particularly trees, are currently the subject of an administrative investigation. The leaders of this organization are suspected of financial malfeasance. It may be that the investigation will lead to charges of judiciary. Meanwhile, many voices have risen high against this inspection, denouncing the state. In fact, this private organization, which has given its goal the defense and protection of nature and which incorporates many persons of influence, including political representatives of the opposition party.
Here it is. And here is the Divine Syndicate's address. Perfect. It is time to find out what they have against Montague Dunn.
Indeed. All right. The Syndicate. I don't know. Usually if a place is called a syndicate, there's something afoot. Something foul, perhaps, is going on there.
This place is beautiful, Holmes. Its atmosphere is remarkably soothing.
Indeed.
Let us find someone who could help us.
Perhaps the man doing Tai Chi? It's a lovely garden. Our guru.
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock...
I am exalting the sap. A while can you wait? From the trace of elements and moreover from the quality of the ambient geotropism it depends. Therefore, please, mind my gravitropism. Its balance. Do not disturb.
Disturbed is most definitely the word.
There. Completed is the symbiosis. Welcomed you are. To introduce myself, I am the Green Grand Mystic.
Yoda?
The Green Grand Mystic himself.
This is me. Who am I speaking to?
We are two gentlemen who are extremely interested in the vegetation philosophy that is advocated by this establishment.
Listening to you, I am.
Alright. First things first. Tattoo. Calluses on the fingertips. And a palm injury. Acid burn. Chemical practice. Aha.
We should like to take a look around, to immerse ourselves in the wisdom that emanates from here.
It is a school of anastomosis, the divine scholastic syndicate for vegetation veneration and meditation. You may say, the divine syndicate, glory to the eukaryotic. Only true devotees, those whose hearts are ready to spermatophize in sharing of knowledge, are permitted to physically enter our vegetable kingdom and its wisdom. And to be permitted, you must earn it. Yes.
Okay.
Green Grand Mystic, we are ready to become devotees and gain access to your temple.
What is the name of our Lord, our God King?
Ah. Terwan.
Our God King's name is Trewan, Green Grand Mystic.
Oh la, good, I like you. Here is the holy key to the wisdom place.
One
Holy
question?
donation can you make whenever you so wish.
Thank you so much.
I pray you to taste our fertilizer substance. From the burdens of life it helps to free.
But of course.
Raw sap, it is called. It is near the entrance.
Raw sap.
Well, we will leave you to your meditation.
It's gonna be like when I went to the tree minders in Fallout 3. I have the sap and trip balls. Have a vision. Almost die. Ah.
A fragment of a flower pot. Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here.
Oh. What's beneath this cover? Aha! Flower pots.
The Kew Gardens symbol.
Mm-hmm. They stole the plants. I see. Alright. Let's see if I can actually go inside real quick. Not seeing any sap. Uh-huh.
That should be the raw sap that the Green Grand Mystic spoke of.
Oh, yeah.
This is rather delicious, and of an excellent quality.
My word, Holmes. Their sap is like a form of cocaine.
Indeed, Watson.
This Green Grand Mystic fellow seems rather suspicious, Holmes. We should search every inch of this place.
Indeed, Watson. Caterpillar.
They are raised as food for certain plants. Let's take them.
Stealing caterpillars now? Aha!
A tropical plant. Nothing of interest. A tropical plant. Nothing of interest.
Do you say so, Holmes?
A tropical plant. Nothing of interest. A tropical plant. Nothing of interest.
Very well, Holmes.
A tropical plant. Nothing of interest. A tropical plant. Nothing of interest.
Oh, how much you want to bet this last one?
These 3 plants are identical to the ones shown at the exhibition. I shall take them.
Do not touch. Let's talk to this weirdo.
Osmosis and photosynthesis.
This must be Triwan, the Divine Syndicate's god.
Okay.
You came to make a donation? Glory to Triwan!
This door is locked, but I can try to open it.
Of course I can. Oh. Interesting. There we go. There we go. There we go. Elementary, my dear Watson. Elementary.
These instruments are used for smoking opium. Chemicals. A sufficient quantity for some serious experiments.
All right.
That would be enough to perform the most difficult of chemical experiments. A vast amount of opium.
Oh, look. Poppy pods. Object of interest. There's nothing I can do to look, though. The Green Grand Mystic is a strange character. Indeed he is. Alright, Watson, you're not here with me. Watson must be waiting outside. Let's talk to the mystic again, shall we?
Do you have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy there.
Oh.
Nevertheless, we have seen Kew Gardens flower pots in your yard. How could they happen to be there?
What? Our sacred place you permitted yourself to search? Sacrilege.
No, really now. There was a theft of plants at Kew Gardens a matter of days ago, and we believe the pots we found here may be connected with it. Please tell us, were you involved?
No. Those plants were ours. They had stolen them from us.
How so?
Their director, Dump, I believe.
Done.
Yes, that's what I said. He borrowed from us 3 of our sisters for the exhibition at his green fly-infested gardens. But he never gave them back to us. Excuses and imbecility. So we went in and saved them.
I see. So, if you stole those rare plants from them, then it means... Ah, I get it. Bravo, Holmes. I think the case is solved.
No, we did not steal. We saved. Well, as a matter of fact, we were unable to find our 3 plants.
I beg your pardon. And yet, you took all of the exotic plants from the stand.
They had disappeared. It was the least we could do. They stole our sisters, and so we stole theirs.
It's not exactly
well,
equitable.
We will leave you to your meditation.
Indeed. Missing deadly plants. Sex stole everything. Device stole all the plants from these, including the deadly species. They could have used them in order to murder you. Device stole all but the deadly plants from the exhibition. Okay. Let's see. Find a plant is used to heal the Montague. Inspect a Kew Garden staff buildings and gather information on Montague Dunn. Find out who killed Montague Dunn. Let's go back to Kew Gardens. We have another building to search. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Let's talk with
Just be
Hamish.
careful with the plants during your inspection.
Okay.
Locked.
Not anymore, it isn't.
This is a table for experiments. It resembles my own.
Only this one is kept in good order, Holmes.
Watson. Please.
There was a bottle here. It left behind a trace of the substance that pervaded the laboratory.
Gold dust? Good heavens. What's it doing here?
The gold is almost immune to chemical attacks, so it may be a valuable auxiliary for various experiments.
Okay.
Why would anyone perform such experiments in a botanical garden?
Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around. The bottle is no longer here, but it is possible to detect a faint scent. We need a good nose.
I know where we can get a good nose. Fetch Toby. But first.
Locked.
Holmes, Albert Dunn didn't give us the key to this door.
It does not matter. We will open it.
Alright, let's see here. Elementary, my dear Watson.
Open. Martin Hamish's locker. A review on rare and exotic plants. Martin Hamish has written several pieces.
Mr. General Secretary, recent events unfolding at Kew Gardens oblige me to renew my application for the management position. As I have stated already in my previous letter, I believe that no one is better suited for the post. While Mr. Montague Dunn was alive, I understood your reservation to my suggestion. Your reasons were political, and so I was happy to comply. But now the Kew Gardens lie in disorder. How can I stand by and allow it? How can I leave them in the hands of inexperienced people with no motivation? I must urge you to cast your decision as a matter of urgency, so that I may devote myself entirely to the noble task ahead and free my mind from this uncertainty.
Martin Hamish studied chemistry. Interesting. Father and I, Kew Gardens. Albert's locker. A rejection letter from the British Royal Naval College.
Royal Navy Schools of NCO's Recruitment Centre, London. Sir, it is my regret to inform you that despite your excellent results within our entry examinations, we are unable to invite you to the Royal Navy School. Your father, Mr. Montague Dunn, has expressed his intention to entrust to you the dictatorship of the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew, and it is clear that he would not release you for an entire year of naval training. Please accept all our best wishes for your future at Kew Gardens. Yours very faithfully, J.M. Lemaitre, Director of the Royal Navy Training Centre. Aha!
Specialist articles on shipyards and ship construction. Albert Dunn has a great passion for shipbuilding and the sea. A picture of Miss White and Albert in front of the University of London.
And they seem to get along.
Aha. And now Miss White's locker.
Miss White's locker. A draft of the letter that Miss White sent to her parents.
Dear Mother and Father, I am writing this letter with reluctance to ask for your help. My studies and my housing costs have proven to be more expensive than I had anticipated. I fear, therefore, that I may not be able to manage in the long term. I know that we have had our disagreements in the past, but would you be so heartless as to allow your daughter to fail her studies due to lack of money? Margaret.
Apparently, Miss White is a capable student.
Degree in chemistry. A jewelry box. And
These jewels must be worth a small fortune.
Oh, she doesn't actually need the money after all.
A vanity purse. It is of high quality.
Margaret, we were surprised to receive your letter. How could you think to ask us for money after all these years that have passed since you left without any thought of us? You have never shared with us any detail of your success at the university, but you choose to do so now? We suppose you must be ashamed of us, for we are not from the same high class as your new friends. Yes, we are modest people, but you should learn to put your family first, as we at home have always done, and none of us ever compromised their reputation, as it appears you have already with your employer, Mr. Dunn. No, Margaret, it is you who makes us feel ashamed, your parents. Dear Margaret, I know how your financial troubles are overwhelming you at the present time. Please let me reassure you that I could not permit you to remain in such a dilemma. I was born of a wealthy family. I would consider it an honor if you might accept my help. Your devoted servant, Albert. Aha. Aha. Margaret White's studies and social situation were completely dependent upon Montague Dunn's wealth. Indeed. Okay. Very interesting indeed. Alright, Watson, let's go talk to young Albert about his attempt at going into the Navy.
I perceive that you are passionate about the Royal Navy.
Passionate? No, not really. I like ships, that is all.
Are you quite sure? You do not seem to be so interested in plants.
It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else.
Ah.
And yet I know that the Royal Naval College rejected your application.
Ah, you truly are as clever as they say. Yes, that's correct. And in fact, my father was strongly against the idea. He did his best to ruin my plans, although I almost did succeed. But my dreams were shattered, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Theft and murder. Albert had motive. Seems quite a few people. The only one that didn't have a motive to kill him seems to be Miss White, since she relied on the money. Although, perhaps if Albert left, she would no longer be getting that money. Alright, let's return to Baker Street and get Toby. Carriage ride. Home is always so much fun. Watson, what are you doing?
Green Grand Mystic fellow seems rather suspicious, Holmes. What should we do next, Holmes?
Is that why you're doing the same movements he was doing, Watson? To try and understand him better?
Come on, Toby. We have some work for you to do. Let us go to Kew Gardens.
To the gardens, Toby. There's a little fly buzzing around in here. Noxious. Quite obnoxious, I say. Oh, good boy, Toby. always enjoy getting the chance to play as Toby.
Let us take Toby to the laboratory. He will pick up the scent of this mysterious substance. Search, Toby. Search.
Alright. Sniff, sniff. Ah. Goes this way. Wow, I'm a talented dog. I can open doors. Over here. Along the bench. Ah, it's leading me straight to young Albert. Oh dear. Ah, but it bypasses. It doesn't go to Albert. It goes over here into the yard. Around to this hedge. Dig, dig, dig.
Congratulations, Toby. Now let us see what you have found.
Aha!
This is the bottle that was used in the laboratory. It was buried here. There is still some liquid remaining in the bottle, with gold flakes. A tiny caterpillar. Not surprising to see one in a garden, but at the bottom of a bottle.
Interesting. Well then. Perform an analysis. It's back to Baker Street we go. Alright. Let us see what's in this bottle. Analyze the unknown liquid.
Let us determine just what we have found here. Let us pour liquid from the bottle into a test tube to perform an analysis. This is the bottle.
Oh, excuse me. I get my pipette. Take some unknown liquid. Put it into there. And some more into that one. Perfect. Now, let's place the tube.
A colorless, water-based liquid. Quite a strong floral aroma.
Holmes? What are you doing?
It has a bitter taste.
I
What
sipped
if it's
it.
poisonous?
Did you ever see poison stored in enormous jars like that? Anyway, there is a doctor nearby.
Reckless
So what
Holmes.
do you think it is?
It is some kind of organic compound. Let us vaporize the liquid and see what happens.
Ah.
Small
this.
colorless crystals. Colorless, tiny crystals that are soluble in water, with a floral smell and a bitter taste. Watson, could you pass me that small bottle, please?
Of course. Here you are. Holmes, do you know what it is?
Wagner's reagent. There was a label on the bottle that you passed to me.
No, Holmes, I meant the bottle that we found.
Let me add the reagent and see if there is any sediment, and then I shall tell you.
Aha. The pipette. The reagent. Into. Ah, it turned red.
Red sediment, just as I suspected. This liquid is of organic origin. It contains some alkaloid. Most likely it is unstable, and that is why there is a quantity of gold dust to prevent contamination.
Okay.
This mixture is probably a fertilizer. Someone was carrying out unusual experiments in the garden's laboratory.
Huh. Interesting. Suspicious ingredient. Poison. Set up the alkaloid from a chemical laboratory in the caterpillars and perform the experiment with the deadly plants. Alright.
According to the deadly plants information, in order to perform our experiment, we will need fertilizer and Food. Caterpillars should do nicely.
Evidence required. So we need the deadly plants. Alright then. Watson. Alright, let's see. Find the plant that was used to kill the doctor. Silica alkaloid from a chemical laboratory. Okay, so we must find those plants. The Divine Syndicate? I took most of those plants, did I not? Perform an analysis. Let's go talk to Hamish. Need to talk to Hamish. Alright. Go back to the gardens, talk to Hamish. I have the plants and the caterpillars. What more do I need? Not sure. Well, we will discover it post haste.
Mr. Hamish, was someone from your family connected with Kew Gardens?
Family? No. I'm the only one with a passion for botany.
I do not think so. This photograph of you and your father at Kew Gardens suggests the opposite.
But you have no right to.
Do tell us more about your father.
He was, indeed, the greatest botanist of his time in the British Empire. He worked together with Montague Dunn until the end of his life. He brought me in at the age of 12.
Did he get on well with Mr. Dunn?
No, I couldn't say that. They expanded Kew Gardens together, that was all. And it was all my father's work. But Dunn always lived the high life.
So Mr. Dunn was not helping your father?
Oh, yes. He provided the financial support. And as far as he was concerned, that fulfilled his role. But the worst of it was, he declared himself as the master of Kew Gardens. Fame meant nothing to my father. So it was easy for Mr. Dunn to take all the credit.
I see.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Interesting. So... Well, Watson, I believe we should go talk to Miss White again, perhaps?
It appears as though the protective equipment is missing from here. Gloves, waterproof aprons, everything one might need for self-protection.
Do they grow dangerous plants here?
Such masks are generally worn when dealing with toxic chemicals.
All right. Oh, a university book.
A botany book. This student's book belongs to Albert.
Repeat year. Oh my.
There is no fertilizer with alkaloid here. We need to search a different chemical cupboard.
A phonograph used for voice recording. Remarkable.
Yes, this is quite a modern laboratory.
Martin Hamish's perception of plants. The notion of communication in the plant world has long been considered marginal, yet I remain convinced that some plants do indeed transmit chemical signals in the event of attack.
A study report by Martin Hamish.
What's this other one?
I don't hear anything.
And it seems clear
study report.
Okay. Alright, Watson, let's go look at... Actually, we haven't been into the nursery yet.
Locked.
Not anymore, it isn't. Ah, there's a picture of the plants. What do we have here?
A thesis written by Martin Hamish. A glasses case. It is empty. This area serves as Martin Hamish's office.
Okay.
We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window.
Indeed.
This poster is for an exhibition that Martin Hamish was directing, but it had nothing to do with Kew Gardens. This certificate belongs to Martin Hamish. He won a horticultural competition.
Ah.
These young plants must be delicate if they are kept in the nursery.
Aha! Where is the chunk?
I am curious if the marble that we found will fit this place. Here it is. The marble fragment that we found in the Colonial Collection Room is what they have in common. It is a bust of Montague Dunn.
All right.
The seeds of plant species are stored here.
Watson?
Locked.
Let's look in the seed house. Explore this room a bit more. Oh, we'll get to her in a moment.
From here, we are unable to see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room. Materials for college study. They belong to Albert.
Albert's desk.
These leather gloves are new and of good quality. They do not appear to have been used. This place serves as Albert's office. A book about ships. Nothing at all to do with plants.
Alright, let's talk with her again real quick.
Poor Mr. Montague Dunn. It is so awful.
Alright.
There is a smell of burning.
Ah. A gas
A protective mask. Someone set it alight, but it did not burn. A broom handle was half burned. A door handle? Why would anyone throw such a thing in the fire? The door handle to the Colonial Collection and that of the fireplace are made of the same material. This symbol is from the Divine Syndicate.
Aha!
The remains of a picture frame. The plants were set alight fairly recently. Some have not completely burned.
Monster destroyed those plants. Well, Watson. We need to perform an analysis, and we have a new dialogue option.
These flower pots are beautiful. They are intended to be used for exhibition purposes. The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
Huh. Interesting.
Dry tropics. Water lily greenhouse. According to this,
Aha. There's one more area we want to explore before I go to try and talk to anyone else.
a ventilation system. It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings. A ventilation... a water tank.
All right then. Let us go and attempt to talk. No, I don't want to go this way. Excuse me, Watson.
Poor Mr. Montague died.
Let's go with Hamish and then Albert. The bust.
There is a bust of Montague Dunn in the nursery.
A bust? Oh, that old thing. Further proof of that outrageous ego of his.
But why in that room in particular?
Oh, I don't know. It has always been there.
No.
It is strange, because I recovered a fragment of the bust inside the Colonial Collection Room.
Really? Oh, well, so I am mistaken. It ought to have been removed during the cleanup. This room is so small.
Do you know who moved it?
I have no idea. Surely Mr. Dunn requested it. Do you have any more questions like this? Because fragments of rock are not my responsibility.
Evidently. Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Now let's talk to young Albert.
Excuse me, but I have to tidy up this room.
All right. He has nothing to say. Fair enough. Still haven't found the... Excuse me, Watson. The fertilizer I need. Alright. Search the archives for the symbol. Let's go back to Baker Street. Search the archives, and then I think I will call it a night. Watson, you look very intensely at your notes. No, the archives. Art. Let's see.
That is not the one. That.
Okay. History?
That.
No.
That is not the. That.
How about in the newspapers? It doesn't seem so.
That is.
Chemistry.
That is not. That.
Ah, here we go.
That is. That.
Seymour's Garden equipment and supplies. We are a premium supplier for all your landscaping, gardening, and timber requirements. Full range supply and deliveries of sand, soil, mulches, pots, and anything else you need. 3 Button Road, London.
Here it is.
Ha. Alright. Well, seems we have another lead. We need to perform an analysis. Dionia carnivorous. Set up to find out who killed the plant. Alright. Well, we shall continue next time, everyone. Hopefully I can get this analysis I need.
According to the deadly plants information, in order to perform our experiment, we will need fertilizer and food. Caterpillars should do nicely.
We have the caterpillars. We just need the fertilizer, I believe. Yes, so we have caterpillars. We just need the fertilizer. Alright. So, I will continue this next Wednesday. Hopefully we can solve this and figure out who murdered Mr. Dunn and why. Otherwise, I will be back on Friday with some more Rage 1. Continuing that. And next Monday, I will be starting a playthrough of Horizon Zero Dawn. So I hope you will join me for all or any of those streams that you can make it to. And let me see if I can find someone to raid. Raid a channel. Hey, Sue is playing Stardew Valley. Let's raid Sue. Give me a second here. Here we go. Alright, so we are going to raid Sue. She's playing Stardew Valley. Thank you all for being here. I much appreciate it. Thank you for being patient with my not having streams for the last week and a half or so. Moving kind of sucks. But we shall get right back into it Friday. So, until then, everyone, as always, thank you very much for your support. If you've missed any, if you want to get caught up in any of my past streams, I know there haven't been any for a little bit, they are on my YouTube channel. And otherwise, I will see you next time. And until then, please, stay safe out there.